We're here to talk about the important stuff. And guys, we are moving quickly into the November election season. Early voting starts, very early these days. And so people are making up their minds and they're figuring out what the issues are, especially locally in their congressional races, their races for assembly, for state senate, and all of that. Now, a guy that I've come to become friends with, I think we can say that, seen him out and about at our Unite IE event, Grant, several speaking engagements. David Serpa is here. He is a United States Marine Corps veteran running for the 39th Congressional District right here in California. He's also the author of Common Sense for California. Doesn't that sound refreshing? You can give him a follow at Serpa, the number 4 Congress. David Serpa is here. David, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Jennifer, Grant, it's good to see you guys again. Thank you for having me on.
Great to have you on, David.
No temporary insanity for you. Tell us about the state of your race right now, what your congressional district looks like, who you're running against, and really why you're in this race.
I think that there is a claim to be made for permanent insanity for Mark Takano, and maybe we could make a case for that.
Definitely
during the show,
not temporary with him, that's for sure.
He's been given one of these gerrymandered sweetheart districts where he's up, 24 points in, with registration with Democrats. But, I'm a combat veteran. I served in Afghanistan in the United States Marine Corps. I'm also a business owner. I've did real estate for 10 years. I'm still selling some real estate, trying to keep the lights on and the bills paid like everybody else. But at the end of the day, I'm running because the demons that we don't fight, we pass along to our children. And we have an opportunity to fight some demons. And if we don't take onus of this situation, then we're going to continue to fall victim to our apathy. And you can't relocate out of this situation. You can't move to Idaho or Colorado or Texas and think that you're going to run away from this fight. And so we're working really hard right now to make California great again. We don't want to set up a 10-year goal for this. We want to flip districts right now. So we had this big Make California Great Again rally last Friday, over 26 speakers, and it was a huge event. Almost 250 people. It was no Unite IE conference, but it was a great event. We're off and running.
So obviously, we would love to get you in there. It would be great. But on districts like this, one of the challenges, nobody wants to offer up money because they say you can't win. So in order to win a district like this, it's going to take money. You can't, and for a congressional race, you can't walk every neighborhood. I hope you're trying, but you'll never make it through every neighborhood. How is the fundraising going? How do you overcome that when you're talking to donors who you're saying, hey, I need your help?
So I'm meeting with somebody today to talk about fundraising. And we also had a meeting on Friday with somebody else to talk about fundraising. We're kind of approaching this from an unorthodox, unconventional approach, because during the primary, I was told I would need to raise $150,000 and take out a second mortgage on my house in order to win in the primary. And we cleared the primary for $7,500. Now, can I do that in the general? Absolutely not. But we knocked on 19,000 doors. We talked to the other Republicans that were running and encouraged them to either run for other seats or to drop out instead of, doing what we all do, which is hire a bunch of overpaid consultants to steer us in the wrong direction, while it ends up being a big political prostitution party down at the red light district in, Riverside County, which, I've started calling the Republican Party. So, there's good things happening right now in the Republican Party. There's a lot changing. But as far as money goes, you're absolutely right. Nobody wants to back a loser. Nobody wants to throw their money away. And we knocked on over 19,000 doors in the primary. We should have lost by 24 points. If you look at the 12 years of, Takano election cycles in the primary, we only trail him by 11%. So we cut that lead by 13%. We outperformed the state of California, which Republicans turned out statewide. We outperformed registration by 5.4%. But in our district, the 39th district, you're welcome to look this up, we outperformed registration by 13.8%. So, we really turned out the vote, and we are going to continue to do that. But you're absolutely right. Money is a part of that. And you're welcome to donate at davidserpaforcongress.com and help
Good
me
guy.
out.
That's what you got to do. You got to ask for it. davidserpaforcongress.com. And one of the things, Mark Takano's like really one of the crazy liberals in the House of Representatives. And I would say, David, that one of the best things that I could offer, and you know this, and we've talked about this actually at different events, is if you use your volunteer power, and if you do have those volunteers where you're able to knock on those doors, how do you move that into mobilizing and trying to ballot harvest? Because that can actually make a real difference. And that's something that doesn't take huge amounts of money. That's something that you can do that strategically puts you ahead of some of these Democrats that are probably just phoning it in because they think they're not going to be challenged.
You're absolutely right. So there's three things that are going to win this election, and we could add in a fourth one as a little cherry on top. Door knocking, phone banking, ballot harvesting. And then the cherry on top is these rallies, these events that we're holding, which we got another one coming up on June 26th. But we had a meeting with Bishop Juan Carlos Mendez, who is going to be expanding his movement from Los Angeles out to Riverside County, so that we could start activating all of these churches in Riverside County and start a heavy ballot harvesting campaign. Because we are not going to win unless we break past the apathy and beat Democrats at their own game. And Democrats have moved a lot of the rules in their favor. So as the party of businessmen, entrepreneurs, the people that run nonprofits and churches, we can out-organize them militarily. And right now in California, they beat us monetarily, but we could beat them in the trenches. We absolutely can. And so the way that we're going to do that is we're going to ballot harvest so many votes that they're going to want to make it illegal. And then when they want to make it illegal, we're going to require same-day voting and voter ID in California. And so we have to beat them at their game in the long run and set up infrastructure so that we can continue to do it in every election cycle.
Very good.
Yeah, David, thanks so much for coming on, and you're welcome back. Again, we can talk about some of the bigger issues. Right now, it really is how do we win? How do we win in California? Yours would be an incredible seat to be able to talk about to the rest of the country. David is a Marine Corps veteran. He's running for the 39th Congressional District. You can get involved with his campaign. David Serpa for Congress, davidserpaforcongress.com. You can also follow him on X, Serpa, the number 4 Congress, and follow him. Help out. Even if you're outside of that area, you can really get involved with some of these important races that tug at you. So if you like what you hear with David, check him out at davidserpaforcongress.com. David, thanks so much and good luck to you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you both for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.